Okay, we're up in Kenmore. We were asked to come out and take a look at a roof leak. So relative to the interior of the house, the water is leaking actually right around, the water's showing up in the ceiling right around here. Okay, almost directly straight down from where we're at. And it's right where my finger is. It's probably 2 feet, about a 2-foot drop down to the ceiling of the first floor living room, which was a beautiful ceiling. So the roof was done a couple weeks ago. Somebody came back out and did some repairs, and so what they did was they just spewed some mastic or something up in the valley area there, tucked it up underneath the soffit, and thinking that that's it. So there's a couple of issues in this roof. Okay, this apron flashing, right from the ground I could tell that the flashing was not replaced. So if you look at the apron flashing, obviously they reused the old. And it's just pummeled with holes, but more importantly, where this corner post meets, this apron that we see here should be sticking about this far past the corner post. Okay, so this white flashing, whether it was old or new, should be going this far past the corner post. This should be out to here. And then the step flashing that's going up the wall should be lapped over top of it, so any water that's beating up against here can't come in. So that's one culprit. And in order to do that, in order to make this new, they would have had to take this bottom course of siding off to do that, but they didn't. It looks like they might have step flashed the sidewalls, or they utilized the existing flashing. Now there's a lot of scuffed vinyl siding here, so I don't know if that's from the tear off of the old or whatnot, but that's one issue. That's one problem. The other problem is they're nailing. So here I am. This is a chronic issue in the whole industry. And with architectural shingles, the younger guys are doing it left and right. They're not being coached. They're not being watched. This is our butt joint from shingle to shingle. There should not be a nail within 4 to 6 inches either way of this butt joint. Okay, I lift this up, and here you can see it looks like this might even been where they had the roof brackets. It's right at the butt joint. So any water that fans out underneath this butt joint, your water hits the butt joint, it fans out each way before it comes down underneath that shingle, under the lower shingle. And especially in a snow load, this will even leak more. So this nail could be a leak. Not saying it is, but each one of these joints going all the way up has got a nail within an inch of that butt joint. There's a nail right there. Okay. So this is staggered all the way up from top to bottom. Now, and it's a shame because here I am, I'm coaching somebody else. Look at this, right here, butt joint, nail. Okay, this joint and this joint from these shingles right here, they're 3 inches apart. These should be 6 inches, minimum of 6. There's another course right up there, and there's the other butt joint there. Those are only 2 inches apart, and I'm not getting off this ladder to go check it out. So I would venture to say that this is a problem. This is definitely a problem, this apron flashing. This bottom siding needs to come off. This apron needs to come off. This siding needs to come off. This corner needs to be addressed. Whenever you have an issue like this, where you have to come with a butt joint, you could take and lay flat coil stock or lay an old flat shingle up underneath, up to the top course here, down over top of those shingles. So that way at these butt joints, it's riding onto a shingle and not finding its way into the nails. We should not be able to see a nail head this close to the butt joints. This one's okay, but this one isn't. And then I'm sure I can work my way up. Now, that being said, however they did that, that could be actually where it's actually coming in. So I should see some sort of coil stock. You see that bottom course of shingle that comes off the fascia board? I should see some sort of flashing, just a smidgen of it. Again, I'm not going to climb up there because I don't have the scaffold to do it and it's too steep. But I should see a piece of step flashing that's underneath this aluminum. And what's telling me that there isn't, or they tried to reuse the old, is because these are the old trim nails. This aluminum wasn't dented. It didn't look like they even took it off. And normally you would end up sometimes doing some damage to stuff like this, or a little bit of damage, or you would cut that back and you would see the flashing over top of it. So I'm suspect that portion was not flashed. Another issue that they have is their shingles. The shingles on all the metal edges, the rake edges and the fascias. These shingles should be hanging at least a quarter or half an inch past the drip edge. Okay, these shingles will shrink in due time, and when they do, you'll see this white metal edge all over the roof. So this is where we're at. This is what you got going. These are the most obvious issues that are wrong here that's causing that leak of a very, very nice ceiling downstairs right below us. So the first step is this apron flashing with the step flashing the walls off, and these butt joints, and then that flashing. That aluminum gets taken off. You really, actually, that could be flashed over. In other words, that we could come in with a piece of red coil stock and step flash that to go up on top of this, and then put another counter of red aluminum trim on top of it. But this water's, I would almost guarantee that water's not getting diverted out, and whatever water's sloshing around in that valley is going right behind all that black tar and just staying down there, and it's coming down here to where it's finding a seam in the felt papers, and that could be the issue too. So you got about 5 problems right from here to there of basically inexperience. So we can this is, I would bet you, the 5th roof that I've looked at this while we're into October 3rd, and June, July, September, and then this is the first one in October. So through the month of September and in October, this is the 5th one of one of my competitors that came out and did a roof, and they aren't able, the customers at their wits' end, and they aren't able to solve the problem, and it stinks because this is a reputable company that did this. So gutters obviously holding water, but hopefully we're going to be able to give them their new gutter system with the gutter helmet. It wouldn't hurt also to do this gutter. This dormer should have a gutter and then run a downspout all the way into the lower, because anytime you got more than a 4 or 5 foot drop, you're creating too much splashing. So let's lift up another, see if we can get another one up here. Nah, this is glued down too tight. So nothing. Yeah, these are glued good, so it's good glued shingle. This has got a hole in it right here, but it didn't penetrate both layers. So.